Sophia was a bright, ambitious young woman studying at a prestigious university in the city. Her boyfriend, Daniel, was a kind and hard-working student from a modest countryside background. Though they didn't have much, they built a world of love and dreams together, finding joy in shared meals, late-night study sessions, and whispered promises of a future they would create together. However, life in the city was expensive and glittered with temptations. Sophia often found herself envying the luxurious lifestyles of her wealthier peers. She dreamed of more comfort, more stability, more glamour. One day, Sophia met Edward, a wealthy and confident businessman who was instantly smitten with her. Edward's life was everything Sophia believed she wanted: lavish dinners, sparkling parties, and gifts that made her feel like a queen. Slowly, doubts began to creep into Sophia's heart. Could Daniel, with his meager means, ever give her this kind of life? Sophia, torn between her love for Daniel and the lure of ambition, made the painful decision to leave him. One cold evening, she met him at their favorite cafe, the one where they had shared so many memories. The soft glow of the cafe lights contrasted with the heaviness in the air. As Daniel sipped his coffee, his eyes were already searching hers, knowing that something was about to change. She hesitated, her voice breaking as she spoke. "I've been thinking a lot," Sophia began softly, her gaze avoiding his. "And I think I need to let go of us. There's so much more out there for me, Daniel. More than what we have, more than I can find here with you." Daniel's heart skipped a beat, but he didn't interrupt. His hands trembled slightly as he put his cup down, looking at her with a mix of sadness and understanding. "Sophia, please, if this is what you need, I won't stop you," he said, his voice low, filled with the quiet ache of someone who knew the end was coming. "I only ever wanted you to be happy." The words hung in the air, heavy and final. After a long pause, Sophia, her face unreadable, stood up from the table. She gave him one last lingering look, her heart breaking even as she made the choice she thought was right for her. She walked out into the cold night, leaving Daniel behind. As he sat there, staring at the empty chair across from him, a single tear slid down his cheek. He didn't chase her. He had given her his blessing. But that didn't make the ache in his chest any easier to bear. Outside the cafe, Sophia met the gaze of another man, a stranger to Daniel, but someone who symbolized the path she thought she had to take. She smiled faintly as they walked away together, a silent farewell to what might have been. Daniel stayed behind, knowing that some endings weren't meant to be rewritten. Sophia entered into a relationship with Edward, and at first, everything seemed perfect. She reveled in the luxury, the trips abroad, and the freedom from financial worry. But over time, she realized that something vital was missing. Edward's love was conditional, based on appearances and status. Conversations were shallow, and the emotional intimacy she had shared with Daniel was nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Daniel, though devastated, focused on his studies. Driven by the pain of losing Sophia, he graduated at the top of his class and secured a prestigious position. Slowly but steadily, he began to rebuild his life. Years passed, and Sophia's relationship with Edward ended in bitterness. Alone and regretful, she began to think of Daniel. She reached out to him, hoping to rekindle what they had lost. But when they met, Daniel was no longer the young, uncertain student she had left behind. He was confident, successful, and happy. As they spoke, Sophia realized that while she had gained fleeting wealth, she had lost something irreplaceable, a love that was pure and unconditional. Daniel wished her well, but made it clear that he had moved on, leaving Sophia to face the heavy weight of her choices. Moral of the story: true love cannot be measured by material wealth or social status. In pursuing fleeting comforts, one may lose the priceless treasures of loyalty, trust, and genuine connection. Choose love and sincerity over temporary allure, for regret is a burden that time may never fully erase.